Hello and welcome to Wednesday Debate Live with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. Tonight, a very interesting topic. We'll be talking about robotics and the global economy. The new republic is shaping definitely the future of robotics. With Egypt's new republic going smart, definitely artificial intelligence is seen by the political leadership as a very important engine for productivity as well as economic growth. It can increase the efficiency with which the things are done and also improve the decision-making process as a whole. It can also spawn the creation of new products and different services, markets and industries, thereby boosting the consumer demand and generating new revenue streams. The new republic has a very good potential, talking about improving its standing globally and also artificial intelligence on a path that benefits the economy and the Egyptian citizen. Today, artificial intelligence is playing an increasingly important role in our lives, and also this is reflected on the economy and is already having an impact on the world in many different ways. Tonight, along with our distinctive guest, Mr. Seif Hafez, global financial expert, together we'll be reading this headline. We'll be talking robotics and also the diversified fields of artificial intelligence. Seif is going to tell us more, also narrate a story of success and his personal experience also with this field, the field of robotics. We'll know more about the importance of investment in artificial intelligence and robotics and why is it important for the new republic to have a development of robotics in the full sense of the word. I thank you very much, Mr. Hafez, for joining Nile TV International.
Thank you very much for having me, like always. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine. And together we'll be reading this important headline. First, we'll be taking the top stories of the day. Earlier in the day, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi accepted Wednesday the resignation submitted by the governor of the Central Bank of Egypt, Tariq Amir, and appointed him as a presidential advisor, according to a statement by the presidency. President Sisi thanked Amir for the efforts that he deployed during his time. And on his part, Amir expressed his gratitude and appreciation to the president for his support and confirmed that he requested resignation from his position as he wanted to make way for fresh blood by stepping down as the central bank governor to complete the successful developmental process under the leadership of President Sisi. Also a very important tour by the Prime Minister to Alexandria. Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Prime Minister, began his visit to Alexandria to inspect a number of services and development projects in the governorate, accompanied by a number of ministers, inspecting the villages of the presidential initiative, the Decent Life, the drinking water pumping station, also, and a technological center. The visit comes within the framework of the Prime Minister's field tours to the different governorates, following up on the project implementation rates on solid grounds. We have with us Mr. Seif Hafez, global financial expert, talking to us tonight, robotics and sustainable development. Seif, as we've seen, the Decent Life Initiative and also many initiatives of the new republic, as you all know, and the viewers as well can share us, concerning the digital transformation in Egypt. The president initiated the Digital Transformation Initiative. Definitely is very important if we're talking Egypt's Sustainable Development Goals 2030. So robotics are always acquainted and associated with thinking for the future, right?
Correct.
And also for a global economy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the whole world is transforming now as we speak into complete transformation into artificial intelligence and robotics and all that. And usually people, they fear such a change because such a change is accompanied always by loss of jobs. But it's not only loss of jobs, it's also loss of jobs and creating new jobs. Like, for example, if we take an example of the trains when they were first invented in 1850, a lot of jobs were created with the trains. And by the 1900s, when the cars came along, all those jobs went down and new other jobs were created, which are auto mechanics, auto repair, all that. Textile industry is the same thing as well. So people are fearing that change, but artificial intelligence and robotics are working hand in hand with humans to help them for the future. Very quick example is concerning the artificial intelligence when it first started in the early 1990s. It was only scanning like envelopes to read zip codes to put them into the right place. Now it can actually correct an essay in fraction of a second. So it helps definitely, for sure, absolutely.
Yes, it definitely helps. And well, you talked also to our viewers concerning more about artificial intelligence making you secure rather than making you fearful of losing jobs.
Absolutely.
What sorts of incentives can we give our audience tonight concerning the introduction of artificial intelligence? We need this sense of awareness.
Correct.
So that people would feel secure about their lives, about their future, and about their jobs.
Absolutely. Robotics in general and artificial intelligence in specific, both of them, they are here to give humans time to do what they do best. Repetitive tasks, boring repetitive tasks, were replaced by robotics in the past, like assembly line, things that you repeat without really creativity. So robotics are taking that away and giving humans things that they do best. For example, a lot of people are worried to have their babysitter as an artificial intelligence, their nurse as an artificial intelligence, their teacher, because you need compassion, you need empathy. And that thing, so far until today, it's not been actually implemented in artificial intelligence. So there are certain jobs that will never be there. I'll give you a small example with banks, for example. When the teller machine, the ATM, was invented in the 1970s, when it came around, a lot of people were afraid that they're going to lose their jobs because there's an automated teller. But what happened is banks they found out that they reduced their expenses, and they were able to expand with a lot of different branches, and they were able to even hire more people because they expanded in their branches. So when it comes to employees, it actually expanded and increased. So we shouldn't be really worried about artificial intelligence taking our jobs.
Yeah. Concerning the economy, we shouldn't also be worried concerning artificial intelligence and its effect on the automation of the global economy, should we?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. Artificial intelligence is here to make the long extended task shorter and more efficient.
Shorter and more efficient, the role of robotics, and we've seen it's like a revolutionary style all over the world. The robotics today is actually, it's a matter of fact, it's the future, and it's transforming lives. In a way or another, what would be the challenges before the global economy in your perspective as a global financial expert by the sense of having robotics all around?
Yeah, that's actually a very good question, because investors, they are looking to increase their money, and return on investment will encourage investors to use robotics more than humans, because by using a robotic, robots, they don't sleep, they don't need health benefit, and they don't need vacation. So you are better off to hire a robot than to hire a human being. So what will happen is, from a global perspective, the rich will become richer, and the poor is gonna, if they do not challenge themselves and keep pace. And that takes us to the new universities now. Now universities are thinking of two things. First of all, it's not the old university style where you go only for 4 years and then you go into your career. University should be somewhere where you come back all the time. This is the new concept. Because of artificial intelligence. You should, until the age of 60, 65, you still go back to university. It should be like extended.
Yes, that's why Egypt had this sense of the far-sighted vision of establishing smart cities. Smart cities are definitely having smart universities. So we're going smart, and we are expecting the youth are the ones, even having easy access to their cell phones. They did even better than us in a way or another regarding technology. Absolutely. Is it going to be the same with robotics? Yes. Youth and robotics?
Yes, absolutely. Like we said, the only two challenges are you have to adapt very quickly to the new job. Otherwise, you will be left out. And you have to understand that this is actually here to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The matter of fact that it is creating new jobs is really providing also a sense of optimism for the future, because this is very important. We need to have a new generation that is capable of competing in the labor market, that is capable of keeping pace with the technological revolution. How do you see that? How do you see the presence of robotics and the creation of new jobs?
Well, that's interesting because there are two views to it. One view had said that I don't want to deal with a robot, I want to deal with a human. I need the empathy, I need the feeling.
The flesh and blood.
Yeah, the flesh and blood. Someone that actually can deal with me.
Can respond, yeah.
Exactly. But on another school of thought, people are saying that some people are thinking that robots are going to be more closer to humans than humans, because they will understand you more than humans. A human being, for example, coming to treat you like a professor or a nurse or whatever, they might have had a fight with their husband or their wife before they came. They might be like in a conflict in their own mind, but robots are there dedicated to
very
you.
much focused.
Very much focused and understands you and analyzes you perfectly.
Yeah.
So some people are finding that as a challenge.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking tonight role of robotics and automation technologies, and in what way or another it is going to have an effect and an impact on the global economy. And is the global economy prepared today to have robots all around?
Yeah.
Is it prepared?
No, it is not.
It is not.
It is not. It is not actually.
What does it take, Seif?
It takes a lot of education. It takes a lot of transformation, and slowly. Let me give you an example. AT&T company in the 1964 had 800,000 employees. It was the biggest company at the time. Now, Google is the biggest company. It has 60,000 employees. So you see the difference.
Yeah.
How technology is getting rid of people as we know it. So that's why it's a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have lots of transformational process, self-driving cars, autonomous flying technology. All those use the artificial intelligence and the computer vision in order to navigate through the busy streets or even by air. Autonomous flying devices like the drones, for instance, and even also in our work here in the media, we would be very lucky to use a camera that is affiliated with a drone to shoot the landscape, or definitely bring video recordings that are exceptional, and this has happened more than once. So we are going through innovative solutions. Is it just witnessing a tip of an iceberg, or are we expecting more?
Yeah, for sure we're expecting more. We're absolutely expecting more. Look, who could ever imagine in the past there's something called a YouTuber or a blogger?
Yeah.
These are all new jobs that are created. But people shouldn't be worried, because there are new jobs that are going to be created in the future by the artificial intelligence. And by the way, you will always need programmers to program those artificial intelligence in the future. These are also new jobs that are going to be created. There are a lot of jobs that we're unaware of completely. Transformation will happen between jobs, for sure.
Definitely. The number of robots in use worldwide has also multiplied. So we've seen throughout the past 2 decades, they have multiplied to 2.25 million. So we have trends suggesting also the global stock of robots will be also multiplying even faster if we're talking about the next 20 years. So you're working in the global stock market and
Correct.
affiliated with figures and numbers. What are you expecting this scene? How far will robotics affect the stock market?
There is definitely algorithm, and it tries to, it will affect, for sure. It will affect, because you're talking about artificial intelligence that learns from its repetitive tasks. And this is the essence of artificial intelligence. So you will, a lot of people, when they trade in the stock market, they follow a chart, they follow a trend. So they buy, they sell when things go up, and they buy when it goes down. If you use an artificial intelligence that you feed it with the correct information and data,
it will easily guide you.
Absolutely. And people are, by the way, people are are looking and paying billions of dollars in order to get their hands on such an artificial intelligence that will be able to trade by itself without even you walking into the stock market. For example, you put, let's say, $100,000 or Egyptian pounds, and then you just leave the artificial intelligence, you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, you have 150,000 because it has been buying and selling according to the trend. Of course, it will affect, but it can also affect in a dangerous way.
Affecting in a dangerous way. In a dangerous way, I mean, if we're talking investments in the stocks itself.
Absolutely.
Of robotics?
Exactly. And also robotics are, at the end of the day, they are being fed by information. They don't have a sense of...
So access about everything concerning your... your information. This
Absolutely.
is another story.
That's another story. And also if a news break out.
We don't need any sort of cyber attacks or something concerning our info and our private stories.
Yes, yes.
And our figures or our bank accounts.
Of course, of course, of course.
So how are we going to safeguard that, in your opinion?
I'm sure there will be a lot of inventions that would come in the future that would be able to protect that as we go. Like, for example, when they created the computers, and then there is viruses, and then there's antivirus, and there will be a shield for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, and also about artificial intelligence with trading. Like I said, if a news would break out, and artificial intelligence would pick that news, it won't have really that kind of understanding to analyze it and see what to do. They will go crazy right away because they will understand that this is a threat and they should react upon it. That's also a dangerous part.
Yes. Yeah. Concerning robotic stocks, and this is actually would be something totally new concerning the market, is investing in robotics a good idea?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
It is.
No, for sure. I mean, this is the whole future. The whole future is going there. I mean, every time I travel in Europe, I find a new artificial intelligence or a new way of replacing humans by machines. Everyone wants to replace humans by machines. Yeah, I mean, it's really
trendy.
Very interesting. Yeah.
A number of initiatives has actually back home been established in Egypt in order to shape the future of robotics and also automation in the country. This can be achieved through different directions. We're talking education, investing in education and robotics. This is also another very important file. Research support, we're talking also strengthening industry, academia collaboration, and also technology transfer. So we have here also another very interesting topic, which is educating people on robotics, how to deal with robotics, what could be the pros, what could be the cons.
Correct.
So how about introducing this sense of guide for people to know?
Absolutely. That's a very, very important point. It should be introduced as part of the syllabus of the universities and schools.
Since KGs.
Absolutely. They should understand, and because whether we like it or not, it's a fact that we're going to live with. It's exactly the trend of how the world is going to go. There's no way back. Robotics are here to stay, and artificial intelligence are here to stay because they're efficient for the investors. And investors would want it. It would multiply their assets. So it's not going anywhere. So we better be friends with them. We better understand them. Otherwise, we'd be left out.
Yes, robotics and artificial intelligence will remain. They will stay. And as Seif said, it's better to be friends with them, to know more about their clues, to understand them, to read them. We're reading them tonight together. Short break. We'll be back. So we're talking about different initiatives, and we're talking about the youth and their collaboration, starting university education, advising youth to delve deep into artificial intelligence and robotic studies. Very important because this is the future. And as we were talking, Seif and I, concerning having this sense of integration since the very beginning, since the early education, so that the kids can get acquainted with life, with robotics. So, Seif, you were telling me more about your personal experience with robotics, and you dealt with robotics on more than one front in the field of aviation, and As
Yeah.
we were talking, we as media people, we dealt with the artificial intelligence, like in drones, in cameras. For you in the field of aviation, how was that?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of places are transforming in Europe now, especially with the field of aviation. You would book a ticket on the internet. You won't need a boarding pass anymore. It will come on your phone. You scan it. So from the minute you actually book the ticket to the minute you check in a hotel, maybe you will meet two people that will help you. The person who will get you inside the airplane, and maybe the person who's going to check you in at the hotel. And sometimes hotels are automated. So by booking the ticket, getting the boarding pass, going through the check-in, you don't meet anyone. Everything is automated from your phone until you get into your seat in the plane. This is on the aviation sector.
Yeah.
From a grocery shopping in Switzerland now, for example, like you walk in a store, you go in, you pick up whatever you want, you go put it, scan it, put your credit card, leave. So you don't deal with any human being. You don't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And there's only one person there helping if anyone has any problem with the machines. But like we're talking about one person on 20 machines.
Very, very impressive.
Very, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is happening as we speak. It's not the future.
Yeah. We're talking, that's why we're talking about educating people on robotics, which is actually very important. Educating them for life, for keeping pace with what is happening throughout the whole world. Robotics and education, robotics and the global economy. What sort of connection that we need to know? What's your advice?
Robotics and the global economy? Yeah. Well, robotics, like we had mentioned with the global economy, it will help a lot. It will create new jobs. It will, a lot of jobs.
Accelerate.
Absolutely.
The whole process.
Yeah. And it will increase the wealth of a lot of people. Absolutely. Because you will be more efficient. But that should not worry anyone, by the way. Because like I mentioned, that thing about the branches, if you become richer, you're going to open more business and you're going to have more job opportunities. And there are a lot of jobs that you cannot replace.
Yes, definitely.
Human to human, yeah.
Human to human, yeah. The president is exerting strenuous efforts in that respect, in investing in the human capital and in providing the Egyptians with the modern tools and with advanced technological solutions in order to keep pace with what is happening in the whole world. So we are in Egypt definitely focusing on going smart and using artificial intelligence. New Egypt is making science and advanced technology a very big priority. We were talking about the smart cities, Seif, and we have New Galala, New Alamein, and we have also the universities affiliated to those smart cities. How can we have a generation that is going to maximize the benefit of artificial intelligence? What does it take? Is it awareness? Is it education? Do we need to know more about, to read more about robotics? How will a robot be a good friend of mine?
Okay, that's a very good question, actually. The good news is that all the new generation that is getting into the labor force now, they are already using artificial intelligence without even knowing. When you use Google Maps every single day, and you use artificial intelligence, so all the new generation, when they go on all those sites, you know, and they start searching about something, and then 2 minutes later, all the ads that come on the page is related to the thing that they were searching for. This is artificial intelligence. So people now, like the new generation now, is acquainted with the artificial intelligence.
Yes. Definitely very important. It makes life easier, and also around the world we have in museums, for instance, and on Nile TV's recent coverage on a visit to South Korea, we really saw how robots are so welcoming. It can be in the different museums. You can have a chat together. You can bring about trying to explore more info about it. You can take pics while roaming the place. It can just send those pics to your email. So it was really a fascinating experience. I really enjoyed it so much. So this is what we are actually expecting. And digitization, how can digitization today be quite friendly. How can we like break this sense of ice and fear of going digital or being automated?
Yeah, it is certainly about education. And it's certainly, like you had mentioned very correctly, it's about educating people. Already the new generation is acquainted with artificial intelligence and acquainted with digitalization. They use it in every single moment, in their phones, in everything, on their websites and their internet. So they're already getting there, and they see the world where it's going. It's all about educating and getting, like for example, I tell you, there are new jobs that are being created now. Something called, it's a new digital marketing. Digital marketing, which is, it had never was created before. And this is thanks to advancement that happened that created this new job now, which is digital marketing. So a lot of people had been in the marketing field before, and they transformed into digital marketing. Social media manager. It's a new job, social media manager. And companies are hiring people like that to take care of their websites, their traffic, to monitor how things are progressing. These are all new jobs that are created with the transformation. So we should not worry about losing our job, but we should worry about one thing, coping with the transformation.
Yeah, coping with the transformation takes a lot. It takes that we would read in a way or another the pros and cons of this sense of transformation, and also working hard to make it in our benefit and to help ourselves to be friends to those new friends or creatures that are going to be actually living with us. In Egypt, we have lots of technology parks, Seif, and it has been very important to establish those technology parks. The government is upgrading the technology and artificial intelligence infrastructure, and the whole world is working on that. The future of robotics globally, and how far do you think it is going to affect the financial sector, affect your work as an expert? In what way?
Well, you had tackled something important. You said the future of robotics in general and how it will affect the financial, and also I want to talk about how it will affect the world in general.
Sure.
There is a fear, for sure, to be honest with you. And the fear is that artificial intelligence is going to outsmart humans. And this is the fear that people...
And that's why we are going to be in need of robotics rather than the humans.
Yes.
Outsmart humans.
Yeah, exactly. And because until today...
And how are we going to be smart enough so that those robotics would not outsmart us?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly a good point. And, and one of the fear is that those robotics, they don't have conscience yet. And this is something that humans only possess.
We have this as a point of strength on our side.
Absolutely. We feel that we're conscious. We feel that we exist. They don't feel that they exist. They don't feel they're conscious. And also we have, we cry, we laugh, we have feelings. They don't have feelings. But once they start developing that, this is going to be a threat to humanity. And Elon Musk once, he said in one of his interviews, he said that robots are going to do everything better than us. Everything. And he said in 20 years from now, half of our jobs are going to be lost.
Yes, and here lies the challenge that we are definitely going to be friends with robots and make, invest, let me say, in this sense of friendship in a way or another that would help us interact. And Seif, that was my experience at the museum in South Korea, and the robot here is called Chloe, and I said, hello, Chloe. Chloe answered, and we started giving him information, and he took me to a whole tour in the museum. And this is life. Those are our new friends. And I mean, it's amazing to deal with robots and to be friends with them, and to feel that definitely that you are keeping pace with what is happening worldwide. Educating peoples on robotics and automation is also very important. As we said, raising the awareness. Who is going to do the job? Who is going to raise this sense of awareness and making this strong bond of friendship between us and the robots? Yeah,
education at schools. Education at schools, universities has to be done. People, they tend to be more comfortable with machines. I tell you from my experience, for example, like in going back to Switzerland in a store, people were lining up to wait for, to deal with machines rather than humans. People feel more comfortable. I'm sure in your experience, for example, in South Korea, when you were with Chloe, right?
Chloe, yeah.
Chloe, you were excited. You were
very much
interested.
excited.
Yeah, because
something new.
Something new, absolutely. Yeah. So going back to your point, yes, awareness will be built by educating at schools, universities, should be part of their progress and syllabus, absolutely.
Yes. The global economy, we're saying that we are expecting a lot to happen. The robotics are going to achieve this sense of transformation. I mean, do we require to train the coaches, like you as a financial expert, and when robotics are going to be all around, will you receive certain training, extra training to deal with the new friends?
No, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. I mean, whoever will not be trained to transform with the transformation will be left behind, whatever field you'll be in. Because slowly but surely, robots and artificial intelligence is going to be integrated in everything. Life as we know it will change. Day-to-day operation will change. It will not be the same.
Yeah. You talked to us about your personal experience concerning robotics and aviation, and it was really amazing. Also, I guess that robotics is going to be integrated in more than one sphere. For instance, the hotel industry. The tourism industry, as we've seen in Korea, the museums, they were there. So in the hotel industry, while you have also experience in that regard, how do you think, in a way or another, it can achieve this sense of transformation, starting from receiving the guests? And will it be that warm welcome from a new friend?
Yeah, absolutely. Hotel industry is in deep need for artificial intelligence and for robotics. This is a super important point. There are hotels existing as we speak. They are completely humanless. From the point that you reserve your booking, to the check-in, to walking inside the room, to ordering, you do not see a human being. Everything is controlled by machines. You have your reservation on your phone scans the door opens, you dial, you have an iPad, you order your menu on the iPad, it comes automatically by a robot that goes into the elevator, it talks to you, so no human beings at all. Absolutely, it is more efficient, I have to say.
Will the guests be welcoming this sense of transformation?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
When they get used.
Yeah, when they get used. It's like anything that transforms. It's like now when you go to the grocery shopping and you don't deal with human, then cashier, and you just go to the machine directly and you do your... At the beginning, yeah, you're used to that person, but then afterwards... By the way, I have to say also there's an old generation and there's a new generation. For example, the old generation, until today, they would like to go to the bank and speak to a human being. And there's no way you can tell them that you can use the internet. They don't want to use the internet. They're not used to it. They don't want to use the phone. They don't want to use those transformations. So I'm saying the new generation, like you said, is going to be very welcoming that.
Yes. Concerning the new generation, definitely they're going to adapt and find a way with the new friends. Concerning the older generation, how are we keeping them, helping them to integrate?
Yeah.
Because this is also very important.
Absolutely. The old generation will definitely need a human touch with them. That's from my own perspective. I don't think it will be easy to transform and to train. We will be really, like, I don't want to use the word fooling ourselves if we think that this is going to happen. It's not going to happen. You need a human touch that will be there and to help them and to guide them and to make them do, like for example, the 6, 7 years old now, they go on the iPad or the iPhone or whatever, they go on any technology and they're super fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all a matter of fact of adaptation, and we will definitely seek to have those new friends home and find them downstairs welcoming us and at work, in universities. So we shouldn't be afraid.
No.
We should only understand the clues.
Exactly.
And let it be a win-win situation.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Working hand in hand together. They are not here to replace us. They are here to serve us. And this is the idea. Like transportation, it's a repetitive job that's boring, and you can make that driver do something else. He could be creative in something else and leave that boring job to robots.
Yeah. Will the jobs that robotics or robots are going to do only be boring, or maybe later they might be creative?
Very good question. No, actually later are going to be creative. Yeah, absolutely. Like doctors. Yeah, like
yeah,
analyzing.
undergoing operations, with
Yeah.
robots around.
Yeah, or diagnosing
Yes.
a disease.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So as you can see in all the spheres of life, you can see robots are going to be there, and we are expecting them as friends around, taking us and leading all the way. Let's make the best out of this orchestra, let me say, or this symphony together. I thank you so much, Mr. Seif Hafez.
Thank you very much for having me.
Global financial expert, for coming tonight to the Daily Debate Live with Taghreed Hussein Wednesday debate, and it has been a very interesting topic, a trendy one.
Yes.
And we talked together about the future, about robotics, about development, and a vision for the future. Many thanks, Seif.
Thank you very much.
And I thank you, dear viewers, for joining us. I'm Taghreed Hussein. Many thanks for watching.